Hey everyone, Sterling here. So I initially started filming this video with the intention of showing you how I used Postman flows and Postman's collection runner to evaluate DeepSeek's R1 to OpenAI's O1 model. However, I hit a snag, and that is the DeepSeek's API was bogged down. And as you can see on the screen right now, I've got, I took 1 minute to respond. It gave me the 200 OK, but there was nothing in the response body. And the prompt was simply, why is the sky blue? Should be fairly straightforward for a reasoning model to answer. But what I'll show you next time is how to evaluate multiple LLMs using Postman flows. And I've set up multiple scenarios here. These were already ready to go. Unfortunately, like I said, DeepSeek's APIs were bogged down. So instead, I'm going to use their chat interfaces to show you a side-by-side comparison. On the left side, you're going to see ChatGPT O1, and on the right side, you're going to see DeepSeek R1. Let's dig in. I started off with 9 questions to ask the reasoning models. They started off with chain of thought, logical deduction, ethical dilemma, algebraic problem, word problem, algorithm design, story generation, poetry creation, and persuasive writing. Now, I'm not going to show you all of them. That would take me 15-20 minutes to go through all of them. But I am going to show you some of my initial findings, and then I'll share all of both the side-by-sides with you. Those links will be in the description down below. All right, let's start with chain of thought. So the question I asked is, explain step-by-step how you would determine the number of ways to arrange the letters in the word Mississippi, while ensuring no two S's are adjacent. Now, initially, O1, as you can see, took 30 seconds, and R1 took 156 seconds, about 5 times the amount of time. But both came up with the same answer, 7,350, and the approaches are the same. However, another big difference is, as you notice as I'm scrolling on the right side, R1's chain of thought and the thought process is a lot more visible. And so there's a lot more information being shared from R1 that we can see exactly what the final answers are. Let's move on to the next one. The next question I asked was logical deduction. And the question is, a train leaves station A at 8 a.m. traveling at 60 miles per hour. Another train leaves station B at 9 a.m. traveling at 80 miles per hour towards station A. The distance between the stations is 300 miles. At what time will the trains meet? And once again, O1 took 15 seconds and R1 took 79 seconds. When we look down, both were able to determine that the answer would be they would meet at around 10:43 a.m. And both showed their work and were able to successfully answer the question correctly. Let's take a look at our next question. We're going to skip ahead now and talk about the algebraic question. The question is, solve for x. 3x squared minus 12x plus 9 equals 0. Show all steps. And as we see once again, OpenAI O1 took only a few seconds, R1 took 68 seconds. Both showed their answer, or both showed their work, and were both successfully able to come up to the answer that x is either 1 or 3. Now let's look at algorithmic design. Write a Python function to find the longest palindrome in a given string. O1 thought for 8 seconds and R1 thought for 140 seconds. And if I scroll down to where R1's answer was, you'll see that the Python script is very, very similar, and I would venture to guess that both would adequately solve this question or answer this question. However, what was really fascinating to me is when I was reading through the reasoning in R1, it reads more like how I think about solving problems in my head. And that's what was kind of cool, also kind of eerie. Okay, I need to write a Python function. First, I should do this. Remember, here's my outline, outline the steps. Oh, wait, what about how to handle the indices? All of these things are similar to how the process I would do as an engineer solving these problems. So I felt like this is a really cool insight into seeing how R1 handles this type of reasoning. And lastly, let's look at creative writing. Write a short story about an astronaut stranded on Mars who discovers an alien artifact. And I'm not going to read these out loud, but I will tell you that I read through both of these. They're really good. I really enjoyed reading this creative writing from both. Both are very powerful in terms of, their sentence structure, how they're, putting their thoughts together, how they're talking, how characters are talking to each other. I felt like this is, to me, one of the cooler parts of the reasoning models is its ability to come up with some really great short stories. So I'll share links with these in the description down below. And if you like this, hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to follow us on our public API workspace called AI on Postman to keep up to date on everything AI on Postman. We'll see you next time.